Hello, everyone. This is Sinema77, horror and cult film lover, and I'm back with another movie review. Okay, I'm sure you've definitely heard people talk about VHS collectors and stuff like that. They've told stories over and over again about how, how like they would go get a they'll go rent a video from back in the day, and it's like they would see the video cover, they would see in the back and everything else in it, and it's like, wow, you think you're going to be getting a particular kind of movie, but then when you watch it, it's like, turns out it's nothing like the video cover. The cover lied to you, kind of bait you into renting the movie to get to watch it. Of course, kind of the same thing does actually happen with DVD too, as I found out recently. But the movie we're going to be talking about is called Raising Jeffrey Dahmer. This is a true crime film from 2006. And when you look at, look at here. Here's the front of the cover. And see, look at the back of the cover. You see like the tools there, and you see the picture. It's like the actor. Oh, what's his name? Rusty Sneery, who plays Jeffrey Dahmer in this. The bones, see like right there. So yeah, you look at this, you think you're going to be getting a very particular kind of film, and you think that you're going to be getting like a movie that's going to show the really graphic details of Jeffrey Dahmer's crimes, when in fact, nothing like that even remotely happens in this movie. This here kind of just, it just kind of, it does, it kind of baits you into just getting to watch the movie. But that being said, though, this is not a bad little flick. I got to be honest. It's not what I was expecting it to be, but it's not bad. Okay, the basically the story is pretty much taking. Obviously the movie's called Raising Jeffrey Dahmer, so pretty much the story is more about how the events unfolded from the father's perspective, Jeffrey Dahmer's father, like he, what I'm sorry, excuse me, what he experienced, what he went through, dealing with the press, trying to take care of his mother. He's with his wife Sherry, and they're trying to figure out what they're going to do and everything else. And so, so that's what ended up happening. I thought I was going to get this kind of particularly gruesome film, but it turns out no, it's nothing like that at all. This is another movie though too. They made several movies about Jeffrey Dahmer where they've kind of show like the events from different perspectives. You have the movie My Friend Dahmer, which is obviously the movie is from the based on the graphic novel from a man who knew Jeffrey Dahmer in high school and said that he was friends with him and stuff. And he's like, yeah, I saw how weird he could be and how awkward he could act around people, things like that. And talking about how they would like if somebody did something crazy or silly in school, would be called doing a Dahmer, and how they would like turn around and pay him money to go and like go to the mall and act like he's having a fit or something like that. Just different stuff like that. And then you got like another movie, The Secret Life of Jeffrey Dahmer, which is starring and written by Carl Crew, who actually follow him on social media. He's actually a really nice guy, Carl Crew, and you might remember him as Georgie from Blood Diner. And right now he owns like some of the biggest shows in LA and stuff, and side shows, things like that. And he's awesome. So yeah, follow him on Facebook or whatever. So, but yeah, that movie is very much about showing details of Jeffrey Dahmer's crimes. So if you're really not into that kind of thing, then yeah, you might want to skip past that one. But that one's more kind of like for if you have more of the macabre kind of like interest into seeing like what he did or how he might have done it, things like that. Then let's see, what else is there. There's the movie Dahmer, that stars pre-Avengers Jeremy Renner, as Jeffrey Dahmer, and that was kind of more meant to be kind of a drama about like kind of like trying to detail like what might have been going on through his head and in his mind and things like that. But this movie here, though, it's about the father's story. It's about everything that happened from his point of view, his perspective. And so, anyway, yeah, real quick, let me show you. I'm sure if you're watching this video, I'm sure you know what they look like in real life. I don't think I really need to show you, but anyway, here it is. This here is actually the real right there. That's Lionel Dahmer, Jeffrey Dahmer, and so yeah, I would say the biggest flaw that this movie has is that it is pretty low budget, and it's not really. You could tell it's not really filmed on the best digital video equipment. I think if this movie had just a little bit more money behind it, and maybe had like a, you know, just a little bit more, professional equipment to work with, and a little bit more money, I think this movie would have been perfect. It actually, watching the film, the actor, let's see, what's his name, Scott Cortis, he actually does a really good job playing Lionel Dahmer. He doesn't particularly bear a strong resemblance to Lionel Dahmer, but the movie begins. We have Lionel. We all know, if you follow the Jeffrey Dahmer story, that Lionel Dahmer is a chemist, and that he had gone to school for many many years, and got his PhD in chemistry and things like that. So anyway, so he's working in his lab, and he's doing his thing, and then he starts getting calls about something's going on with his son Jeffrey, and he's really confused. He's not sure what's going on yet. Then he keeps trying to make calls, trying to figure out what's going on, and little bit by little bit, he's not finding out very much in terms of details and stuff, but he finally does, start to get a little bit of information that his son Jeffrey was arrested for murder, and so they're not really giving him too much in the way of details about, like, what Jeffrey had done, or anything, no specifics. So so he's absolutely shocked that his son is arrested, and he's floored, and so he goes and he's calling his wife Sherry, and he's asking, do they know anything about it? And no, they don't know anything. And he's calling his mother's, no, but I got reporters wanting to know more information and stuff. And so he gets to his mother's house, where he's trying to duck and dodge the reporters and things, because of course they want to get their story, but he doesn't know anything. So, but ultimately he does get into his house, and he's able to comfort his mother, and but still they just don't really know too much about it. And at one point, a detective comes, who's played by Bo Svensson, from the original Inglourious Bastards and other movies too. So he comes in, and at first he kind of suspects Lionel of something, and Lionel's like, I don't know what's going on here. And so they start watching the news, and they start getting more of the details from the news and things like that. And they discover what Jeffrey had done, and some of the graphic details of his crimes and things like that. And so they're just they're stunned, they're floored, they had no idea what was going on, all this kind of stuff. So so Lionel, a lot of the movie is taking place from his point of view. He's trying to remember, like, incidents like back when they were young, like when he's cleaning, like Lionel Dahmer told the story about when they cleaned the bones out from under the house, and Jeffrey got interested in playing with the bones and things like that, and just kind of like little bit by little bit, he's kind of seeing that, wow, he didn't really, he didn't see anything too wrong with it. He thought that, at the time, a lot of this stuff was just pretty much just the curiosity of a child, and things like that, and he would grow out of it, and um, you know that was kind of it. And then he starts questioning, like, his own, um, he starts questioning himself. He starts asking himself, like, how did I fail as a father? What did I do? What did I not do? What could I have done? Did I somehow, uh, you know, did I stunt his growth to the point that he would end up doing such a thing, and things like that? And he's asking himself all these questions, and he's trying to figure out the answers. And so he's going to see Jeffrey, and he's just, they're talking about, like, what had happened, and he's trying to get information from him, and it's just he doesn't know. So but anyway, though, it's like that's really a lot of it. There are some things in the story, like I said, Bo Svensson plays a, I'm going to give a little bit of a spoiler alert here. So, spoiler, still with me? Okay. So I'm going to give a little bit of a spoiler alert. There is a scene where Bo Svensson, he comes in, and he's talking to Lionel about, I'm sorry, I didn't, I thought that you had some kind of implication in this, and I'm not too 100% sure. And so it's like, yeah, I really, I messed up, and I'm sorry, and everything else. And, I have children too, and this and that. And so he goes and he sits in his car, and he commits suicide in Lionel Dahmer's driveway. I don't know. I don't ever remember hearing that as part of Lionel Dahmer's story that he had a cop actually commit suicide in his driveway. But I don't know. Maybe that was something of the story that I did not know because as time goes on, you see these other movies. Like I didn't think Ted Bundy like kept a severed head in his apartment. They come to find out, yeah, he did. So it's like so you learn. As time goes on, you learn. So maybe Lionel Dahmer did have a detective who killed himself in his driveway. I have no idea. But anyway, though, but overall, like I said, this movie that's really what the story is about. It's more the story of Jeffrey Dahmer from Lionel Dahmer's perspective. It's much more of a drama. Honestly, it's like like I said, if this had a little bit more of a budget behind it and it had been filmed with a little bit more professional equipment, this easily could have been a TV movie. It really could have been. Except I don't think that this would ever been a TV movie because I think they would have been like the subject matter is way too graphic and we can never have anything like that on our station. But overall, it's not. I was not disappointed in this movie. It just wasn't what I thought it was going to be. When I got ready to watch this, I did think that there was going to be some graphic imagery and it's like there's just really not. I mean, I think the closest they show is the murder of Stephen Hicks to a degree, but as far as like showing any of the graphic things that Jeffrey Dahmer did to his victims or anything like that, the movie doesn't show that. Like I said, this movie, like I said, it kind of fools you because you do think that you're watching, you're going to be watching this really graphic, gory horror movie that's going to show all kinds of mutilation and carnage and things like that. But then ultimately, what you end up watching is just basically a drama. The story of Jeffrey Dahmer through his father's eyes. So I would say don't let that, don't let the fact that it's a drama, don't let the fact that it's low budget, don't let these things, deter you from watching this movie. I mean, if you are a true crime fan and, you are interested in the story, I mean, it's not 100% factual, but then again, whenever they make these movies, nothing ever is 100% factual, but it's not 100% factual. But, honestly, if you're curious about, kind of like Jeffrey Dahmer through his father's story and things like that, and kind of seeing things through his father's eyes, then I would say give this a watch. It's not that bad. It's really not. Like I said, it definitely could have benefited from a much bigger budget and like I said, some more professional equipment. But the actors are not bad. The actors do a good job. Like I said, Scott Quarters, he does a good job playing Lionel Dahmer. Kathy Barnett, who plays Sherry, she did fine. Yeah, Rusty Sneery, he did a good job playing Jeffrey Dahmer. He doesn't, not exactly looking very much like Jeffrey Dahmer. As a matter of fact, that's him right there. I mean, it's kind of close, but not a whole lot. But anyway, though, just yeah, I would just say go ahead and give it a shot. It's not too bad if you're a true crime fan, and if you want to know elements of Jeffrey Dahmer's story from his father's point of view, I would say give it a shot. But just if you see this, don't you see this and you pick it up, just don't go into this thinking like, oh my God, yeah, this is going to be graphic. It's going to show all the details of Jeffrey Dahmer's crimes. It's like, no. Like I said, the movie The Secret Life of Jeffrey Dahmer, or Jeffrey Dahmer, The Secret Life, I've heard it called both things, with Carl Crew. If that's what you're looking for, if you're more interested in seeing like the gruesome details of his crimes, that would probably be the movie you need to check out. But this one here, like I said, more of a straight up drama with the story about his father. So anyway, that's going to do it. We talked about this, and that's it. So yeah, not bad. If you're a true crime fan, I still say give it a shot. So anyway, that's going to go ahead and wrap it up. If anybody took the time to watch this video, I thank you for doing it, and I appreciate you for doing it. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like and subscribe. I do weekly videos where I'm doing, movie reviews. I do, shelf by shelf of my movie library, haul videos, things like that. And, trying to do some theme videos, things like that. It's a top 10 videos. So, yeah, some holiday theme videos and things. So yeah, please come back and, I'll see you guys later. Hopefully I'll have some good fun entertainment for you guys. So until then, this is Sinema77, horror and cult film lover. Take care. Have a good night. And I'll see you later. Bye-bye.